website dedicated entirely to Bruce Timm's DC animated universe? I'm James Strecker, and today we answer the question, what is the Watchtower Database? Let's jump back 14 years, shall we? It's 2001. I'm 10 years old. I'm a pretty big fan of the Batman and Superman cartoons. I own both versions of Return of the Joker, and I rent Mask of the Phantasm on VHS on a regular basis. But then one day I take 3 hours to download a 10 megabyte video off the Cartoon Network website with my grandparents' dial-up, and lo and behold! Holy crap, what is this? Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, some green guy, and they're all on the same show together? Justice League premiered later that year on November 17th, and I didn't have to look that up. And I did what any sensible 10-year-old will do. I recorded every episode on tape so I could watch them over and over and over and over and over. But I also did something that not every 10-year-old knows how to do. I used basic HTML coding and created a fan site called the Justice League Watchtower. It took me like 3 or 4 years to actually finish it and get it online, but that's not the point. JLW was a pretty simplistic website, but it basically contained any information you'd want to know about the show. Characters, episodes, images. Well, that was pretty much it, but there was a lot of it. Eventually, Justice League changed over to Justice League Unlimited, and I kind of lost some steam. I started going to high school, being involved with more activities and stuff and life, and the website was pretty much stagnant until I eventually took it down after JLU and the DCAU entirely ended. Now, simultaneously, I was a member of a message board called DCU Animated, which would later become known as Super Buddies. Ah, remember message boards? Good times. What? People still use message boards? Why? There I met the illustrious Mr. Ted Kendrick. I also met some of the most talented artists I've ever had the pleasure of being around in cyberspace, including several people who found their niche. They enjoyed creating full-body, quarter-turn colored models of JLU characters we had yet to see in that form. There had been a long-standing Warner Brothers subsite, batman-superman.com, which just went offline like a month ago, may it rest in peace, which covered the majority of characters and episodes from the 90s Batman and Superman cartoons, complete with this same style of images for the main characters. A good chunk of the members of Super Buddies, myself included, took it upon ourselves to create these profile pictures, if you will, for this Facebook generation, for as many leftover DCAU characters as possible. At one point, we even got a hold of a giant sheet of character models from a connection through Warner Brothers, which started out as black and white line art that we collectively colored. That was pretty cool. By the time the DCAU craze had died down to nothing but nostalgia and these artists had moved on, there were quite a few of these profile pics just floating around the internet. And what does any good 24-year-old who's still a 10-year-old at heart do? The answer is collect them. So here we are in 2015. This coming May, it will have been 10 years since the last episode of JLU aired. But if you take a quick scan of the internet, you'll be pleased to see that these 10 years have not disrupted the reputation of the DCAU. These cartoons are still loved by so many, and their memory should be cataloged. The ultimate goal of the upcoming Watchtower Database website is to give you, the internet populace, a one-stop DCAU encyclopedia. You want to know about the Riddler? Here's everything we know. What his real name is, what episodes he appeared in, and oh hey look, here's full-body artwork for every single look he had on all the shows. Okay, that's a bad example, but I think you get what I'm saying. But what makes WDB special isn't just its comprehensive database of information or its library of profile pictures, but how it's presented. When you go to watchtowerdatabase.com, you will be presented with an exterior view of the Watchtower itself, floating high above the earth. And when you go inside, you'll find yourself on the bridge, with familiar, clickable surroundings that will take you to different file systems. For instance, you may choose to go to the monitor deck to look up any character to ever appear on any of the series, or go to the founding members' secret meeting room to look up case files on all the past adventures, which is nerd code for episode guide. There's also this little glowing globe thing, which will let you look at all of the locations from throughout the DCAU, like the Batcave, the Fortress of Solitude, or that random little town from the Zeta Project that you and everyone else forgot about. You know the one. So that's it. That's the goal for the WDB website. In the meantime, while you wait, we'll be posting videos on this channel every other week, including top 10 lists, voice actor spotlights, fan theory discussions, and all sorts of other cool stuff. And these videos will eventually be incorporated into the full website. Plus, you can also use this channel to stay up to date on our webcomic, Legacies of the DC Animated Universe. If you want to know more, or you have any questions, or you just want to say hi, leave us a comment below and/or follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Or you can always send an email to us at info@watchtowerdatabase.com. We also have Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr pages for Legacies, depending on your social media of choice. All of which can be found with the username LegaciesDCAU. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and please consider subscribing so you don't miss out on upcoming content from the Watchtower Database.